Hey guys, welcome back and thanks as always for checking in. Today I'm going to show you guys a project that I've done a couple times. I really have liked the results. This is a sub-irrigated 5-gallon bucket planting system. I've been shortening it up and calling them reservoir buckets. Basic idea is you're setting up a system using 2 5-gallon buckets that gives you a little reservoir of water underneath where you're planting your plants, and this basically allows you to water them less frequently and have your plants able to get the hydration that they need to thrive. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing this system. This is the way that worked for me after some trial and error, and I hope it works for you too. So for this project you're going to need a few materials. First of all, you're going to need a drill, you're going to need a pair of scissors, a red plastic cup, a razor knife, a 3-inch hole saw, a length of PVC pipe that is longer than 2 5-gallon buckets stacked on top of each other, and another hole saw that is the same diameter as that PVC pipe that you're going to use. And 2 5-gallon buckets, of course. To get started, you want to figure out which bucket's going to be your bottom bucket and which bucket's going to be your top bucket. When I was looking at mine, when I first started doing these, I noticed on a lot of buckets you can see there's a little bit of an extra circle around the center little nub in here, okay? Some of them have it, others do not. So this bucket here doesn't have that same crease. So I'm going to use this one because I have been cutting out that crease to use for the cup that's going to go in the top bucket. So this is going to be my top bucket, this is going to be my bottom bucket. This crease, that's what I'm going to use that 3-inch hole saw for. You know, it's going to go basically right over the top of that. So you can see, basically just trying to go as much through that little center nub as you can, and I'll cut that right out. The next hole is going to be for our PVC pipe. My PVC pipe is 1.25 inches, so that means I need the same size hole saw bit. So as you can see, it's a nice solid match. So there's our second hole. This PVC pipe should fit. That's about as much space as you want on the sides. It can fit in easy enough, but it doesn't leave a lot of extra space around. The next holes that we're going to do, we're just going to punch a bunch of little holes in the bottom, and this helps to make sure that if you do get any rain, or if you are watering over the top of these, the water can still go through it and drip down to the bottom. Depending on what plants you have, as the root system grows and expands, those roots can grow down through those holes and they can access the water directly once the plant is more established. I found that just kind of one of the bigger drill bits that you've got will work out just fine. This one is a 3/8 inch drill bit. And there you have it, you guys. So you just Swiss cheese the bottom up, main hole for the cup, second hole for the PVC pipe, and with that, the top bucket is ready to go. So we're going to take our first bucket here, flip it over, and then this bucket is going to come over and sit on the side, or now the bucket's going to sit inside of it. So you can see as we look down, we've got this space, kind of my middle knuckles worth of space down below this. So this is all going to be soil in through here, and then we're going to have water down below. Now naturally we've got this great big hole, and we need to fill that up, and that's what we're going to use this cup for. There's a couple things that you want to do. First of all, we want to drill some holes in the bottom. I use the same 3/8 inch drill bit. So there you go, 1 in the center, 5 going around it. That's the system I've been using. You can see the drill does kind of leave them a little bit scrappy, so I come through and pick those extra ends off. Nice and tidy. So the next step is that the cups are a little bit tall, as they are when you get them. I've been taking mine and cutting right along this first line up by the top. Oops. Went a little overboard. Like I said, I did kind of overcut on there. Not the end of the world. I think this guy should still work. The next thing, we just want to open the sides up a little bit more to allow more water to go through. So I'm just going to take the razor knife and we're going to cut some slits down through it. I like to keep it just a little bit shorter, just because I don't need it to go deep, but I don't want to slice my hand. Stick it in and then slowly drag up. The goal is to stop before you hit the top, and that way you get this little pocket that opens up in the side. You can see we've got the slits running all the way around, holes. That's what you need from your cup. Back to the bucket. Now we've got our cup. The cup comes down and sits right in the bucket. Get our PVC pipe down into the hole, comes up above. The last thing that we need to do before we start to fill it with soil is we need to make an overflow. So you want to make sure that that reservoir can fill, but if you overfill it, you want to make sure that water drains out so that you're not swamping your plants up. We're going to hold them up to the light, and you're going to look to where you can see the bottom of the first bucket. So you can see it's kind of right about where those thick bands start on the barcode. So we're just going to make a little drill hole kind of right there, right below that line. And there's the overflow. It might have been a little low on that one, but that's all right. As far as the hardware of the bucket, that's all it takes. Now we're going to put some soil into our cup. I don't have anything to plant in that quite yet, so I'm actually not going to fill it up all the way. But I will show you how we fill the cup up, and I'll show you a couple that I have outside and how those plants are doing. You can see those little slits are bulging open a little bit. That's going to allow the water to go load this soil up. And basically, you can imagine this is sitting up to about here in water. It goes through the holes in the bottom and through the slits in the side. And then that moisture is just going to soak up and into the bed. So now that we've got this, we're going to put it down in there. And then when we're ready to plant in it, we'll just fill the rest of the bucket up with soil, plant our plant right in that, fill it up with water, and we're good to go. But since I'm not gonna fill that one up, I wanna show you guys a couple of the ones that I've already done. So here we are out in bucket land. I've got 14 of these guys out here, growing a whole variety of them. We're doing a lot of tomatoes these years, but I just like the system, so we decided to keep on going. So I've actually got some buckets with squash in them. I've got some strawberries, we've got some tomatillos. Again, we filled them up with soil. You've got the PVC pipe coming up over the side. Where's my overflow on this guy? You can see our overflow right down in there. And I probably haven't watered this guy for maybe 2 weeks now. And we've got flowers coming off. Like, it is doing really, really well. These tomato cages on here are actually really awesome. So these are a 33-inch galvanized tomato cage, and they fit perfectly over the top of these. So the widest rim with a little bit of muscle, you can snap it right underneath the first lip of these buckets here, and then I just tied off the top leg, and it's really strong and sturdy too. You can see if I pull up from this, it actually lifts that whole top bucket up, and that's with no additional methods to secure it, just clipping it over that front lip of the bucket here. So those were the reservoir buckets. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks as always, my friends. I'll catch you the next time. Later.